So confirmed, school shooter Nicholas Cruz was shielded from arrest to fight systemic racism. That's close quote. Not only did they shield him from arrest in the name of fighting racism, they didn't even force him to go to their worthless program. He was known at the school as the school shooter. School shooter Nicholas Cruz was protected from arrest by Broward County School District officials thanks to a controversial disciplinary program, close quote, designed to combat systemic racism, close quote, by limiting arrest of minority students. So his last name was Cruz, even though he was a white guy adopted. And so he couldn't get in trouble threatening to kill everybody on a routine basis. And the police had been called 22 times. And they go, oh, no, it was only 3 times. Or, oh, no, he wasn't in this program. Remember that? Well, it turns out he was in the program. When I read this last night at about 10 o'clock, I got so angry that despite the fact that I was sleepy, I couldn't go to bed for a couple hours. And it makes me mad because in hindsight, you can see their designs. In hindsight, you can see what they did. And you can see what they're planning to do again and again and again and again and again and again. Trump pointed out that 98% of mass shootings happen in victim disarmament zones at the NRA speech he gave. The media attacked that. They said, is it really true? And then obfuscated. They never really even answered it. But it is true. Mass shootings kill less than 50 people a year, by the way, in schools. But they pump it all up and then tell gun owners we're all to blame. It's all about projecting guilt. But last night, it came out in the Sun Sentinel. It came out in local TV. Broward County went, okay, for 4 years, 4.5, Nick Cruz was in a thing called Promise program that Google's pushing, where you let people off for crimes, but only if they're a minority. I happen to have a stack of news here just today. Every day there's a stack from Belgium, from France, from Sweden, from Finland, where Islamicists rape. In fact, will you pull me yesterday's stack? Some of that was in there. 10-year-old girls, 80-something-year-old women, you name it, and are allowed off saying it's their culture. It's like importing New Guinea headhunters and saying they're allowed to, you know, kill your wife and shrink her head. But that's true authoritarianism. And then here it is, confirmed when we already knew this. This came out a week after, but the media said we were liars. And then it didn't exist. So I'm going to cover that next segment. I'm already getting into it. And then now it's all confirmed, but only in the local news. They stood down. The police physically stood down. They knew what he was planning. This was a false flag, folks, but not in the way they claim I said that was a false flag. Real people died. The anti-gun 4 students that went around, you know, from the 3,000 and got all the attention, they weren't crisis actors. I never said that. And the media smoke screened what they really did by lying about what I said. And that makes me mad. Not for me, but what you did to those kids and those families, and you know full well what you did, globalist, MSM, and then you use lies about me to smoke screen how you stood down and you let him go in there and kill those people, and I'm sick of your crap. And I'm going to get you. And my listeners are going to get you. It makes me so upset to know they knowingly knew it. And they all called him the school shooter for years. They knew he was coming. They stood down. He was in foster care. His parents had mysteriously died. He was all wound up on government-issued drugs. He shows up, and the police stand down. No wonder they jumped on me day one and said, don't say it's staged, because it was staged in that they stood down and knew he was coming and had all the PR ready. That's why they were so scared and up front saying, Jones says nobody died. Jones says they're all actors. Jones says it's staged. Because it wasn't staged in that people died, but they knew and they stood down. Wow. The article from Information Liberation is on Infowars.com. It's an excellent article. I want to get that Chris author on. Chris, I pronounce his name. It's too far away on the screen there. I want to get him on. He's a really smart writer. We are going to get into an incredible miscarriage of justice, an outrageous crime committed against the young men and women of Parkland High School in Florida on Valentine's Day 2018. It is now confirmed. It is now even mainstream news that the Sheriff's Department, not one deputy, not 4 deputies, but more than 15 deputies stood down just as witnesses that day and the day after on our broadcast said they witnessed. We had one witness on, a young African-American man, and Snopes said he was an actor from another city that I had on my show. Days later, they had to remove it. So they're doing what I said. They're doing what they claim I do. They're doing what they say I did but didn't do. Now, here's the big breaking news that just makes me so angry I can hardly talk. Not because they're demonizing me, not because they're trying to destroy my name. I signed up for this to hit the barbed wire. But because they think you're so stupid, and I don't know what to do because they need to be punished for it. And I'm going to get to what they're doing to InfoWars and the American people in just a moment. But first, let's get into what they did to those students that day. They stood down. And now the Sun Sentinel and 2 local TV stations have the documents. There's an excellent article by Chris Minahan on InformationLiberation.com. It's posted on Infowars.com. Confirmed. School shooter Nicholas Cruz was shielded from arrest to fight systemic racism. All over the country in blue cities that already have the highest crime rates by far, as everyone knows, Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, Maryland, D.C., Miami, L.A., Oakland. You want me to stop? Everybody knows that. Houston's blue city, really bad crime. So confirmed, school shooter Nicholas Cruz was shielded from arrest to fight systemic racism. That's close quote. Not only did they shield him from arrest in the name of fighting racism, they didn't even force him to go to their worthless program. He was known at the school as the school shooter. School shooter Nicholas Cruz was protected from arrest by Broward County School District officials thanks to a controversial disciplinary program, close quote, designed to combat systemic racism, close quote, by limiting arrest of minority students. So his last name was Cruz, even though he was a white guy adopted. And so he couldn't get in trouble threatening to kill everybody on a routine basis. And the police had been called 22 times. And they go, oh, no, it was only 3 times. Or, oh, no, he wasn't in this program. Remember that? Well, it turns out he was in the program. Broward County School District officials lied repeatedly for months by claiming otherwise from WJCT television. Broward County District officials admitted Sunday, took 2 days for us to learn this, that the confessed Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School gunman was assigned to a controversial disciplinary program after the superintendent repeatedly claimed Nicholas Cruz had no connection. Remember the Project Veritas videos of the school officials in New Jersey saying, oh, yeah, they rape girls, they do everything, we let them, it's no big deal, to the alternative punishment designed to limit on-campus arrest. 2 sources with knowledge of Cruz's discipline records told WLRN he was referred to the so-called Promise program for a 3-day stint after committing vandalism at West Glades Middle School in 2013. And then it goes on that he was put back in it repeatedly for all the different threats and vandalization and threatening to kill people. It goes on for page after page. All the news reports, everything. Here are some of the individual headlines. Sun Sentinel. What's the future of Broward County's Promise program? after news Nicholas Cruz was referred there. And it goes on to say the news said it wasn't true. They were lying. Sun Sentinel. Boom. Here's another one. Stoneman Douglas shooter was assigned a controversial Broward discipline program, school officials admit. Here's another one. So there's all the articles. Mark Rubio's chimed in saying that he was lied to about that by school officials. The whole boil down's on Infowars.com. Dana Loesch just tweeted about it. The Broward School District repeatedly lied to parents, students, and to us. When the NRA-TV questioned them whether the Parkland murder was in the Promise program, he was, the school and Sheriff Israel, who championed this program, are liable. Bingo. And they lied.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
He goes to jail. He goes to jail. Lock him up.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We're breaking the conditioning!
Infowars comes to mind.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
There's a lot of controversy around this network about Alex Jones.
Google is being accused of hiding negative stories about Hillary and her campaign by changing its algorithm to bury stories like the Clinton body count story. That's according to website Infowars.
It sounds like it's confirmed there are at least 2 shooters with fully automatic weapons.
Dr. Martin Luther King has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
JFK was shot from the back and the front.
It was almost as if it were a planned implosion. It just pancaked.
They took the babies out of incubators and left the children to die on the front lawn.
I think this is a national security imperative. We have clear things that we do not understand how they work, operating in areas that we can't control.
UFOs.
Is this global governance at last? Is it one world, the central bankers in charge?
Israel claims the attack was accidental, but some former U.S. naval officers say it was on purpose. They describe the day's action as part of a continuing cover-up.
Russian intelligence compiled a dossier on Mr. Trump during visits to Moscow.
Russian scum!
Denied everything. He called it all fake news.
And he accused CNN of being fake news.
This is a national emergency.
If they kill Trump or remove Trump, it will cause a massive civil war in this country.
This was a FEMA high-level alert.
We are at war with Russia.
Are you aware that Mr. Stone also stated publicly that he was in direct communication with Julian Assange and WikiLeaks?
The White House and the President are citing Infowars.
They could shut us down. You're next.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
Years ago, Infowars Life created the powerful MycoZX formula to help you combat internal yeast. As the years went on and more toxins were pumped into the environment, our team knew we had to create a bigger and better formula to help support your gut health. MycoZX Plus is the result of the search for that formula, a unique natural formula designed to support the body's natural cleansing of yeast and fungal organisms. There's no better product to help your body fight back. MycoZX Plus helps support a healthy microbial balance in the body, supports your digestive tract, and addresses the intestinal yeast that can cause you problems if it goes unchecked. Powered by an impressive list of ingredients, including grapefruit seed extract, pau d'arco bark, and grapeseed extract, our formula is fueled by ingredients that stood the test of time as powerful micro-balancing properties. Pick up a bottle of the new and improved MycoZX Plus today at InfowarsLife.com. That's InfowarsLife.com.